The Avengers Endgame has a brand new trailer, and we're going to watch and break it down for you right here on Disney 101. What is going on out there, world? It's your boy Tommy on the spot. On the other side of the United States, it's my main man Steve down in Orlando, Florida. How are you doing today, Steve?
Really good. I am one day away from a spring break, so
Oh,
I'm just waiting for 2:20 tomorrow, and can't wait.
there you go. There you go. Well, good for you for having a spring break. That's awesome. For those of you who do not know and are checking us out for the first time, we are Disney 101. We are a Disney-themed podcast each and every week. You guys can go ahead and subscribe. We're actually going to be having a brand new episode of Disney 101 this weekend, as Steve and I will be breaking down Captain Marvel. Figured give it a full week before we fully broke that down. But today, there was a brand new Avengers Endgame trailer that came out. Now, Steve, you've already seen this, right?
Yes, I have.
All right, so Steve has seen the trailer. I have not. I usually like to do this on the air so you guys get my reaction of it. We kind of do this in two ways for a number of reasons. Number one is A, you get a little reaction from myself, and then B, Steve's already prepared with a little breakdown of what this could all mean. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to tune it up here. The Avengers Endgame trailer. This was officially released, I believe, this morning. It was today, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep. Today.
So we will go ahead. We'll break it down for you guys real quick. And when it's finished, then Steve and I will talk about what it all means. So, Steve, are you ready for me to go ahead and play the trailer?
Always.
All right, here we go. Now, there might be, I'm sure there'll be some sort of ad or something, but let's see. There is an ad. You guys can hear that, though?
Yep.
So are you dating the Prime Minister of Canada?
Even though the new Seth Rogen movie looks good, we have no time for it. So let's go.
Seems like 1,000 years ago. I fought my way out of that cave. Became Iron Man. Realized I loved you.
Oh, damn.
I know I said no more surprises. I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
The world has changed. None of us can go back.
Time out, time out, time out. Sorry to do this, but forgot to let everyone know there are spoilers in this trailer, right, Steve?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say there's at least two big ones.
Right. So, just letting you guys know, all you saw there is Captain Iron Man looking pretty bummed. There'll be some spoilers. So if you don't want anything spoiled from Avengers Endgame and want to avoid this trailer entirely, shut this off. But before you do, make sure you subscribe to Disney 101 and join us this week for a brand new episode. All right. So now we're going to dive back in now that you've been forewarned, and we'll watch the end of this trailer.
What we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
Oh.
This is all these people die. I can tell everybody there's something wrong.
There's a small chance we owe this. Everyone is out in this room to try.
It takes. Whatever it takes.
Whoa.
I like this one.
Very cool. April 26th can't come soon enough. That was pretty incredible stuff. A lot to get into there. So, Steve, I guess what was your biggest takeaway from the trailer?
I mean, at least the biggest spoiler to me is towards the end when they're showing Nebula and Tony walking right next to everybody else.
Right. Shows
Because
that
the big lead up was they're stranded in space. What's going to happen to them? How are they going to get back to Earth? And then the next scene is, they're just walking around with everybody else. So I guess everything worked out for them. Like,
yeah, especially because in the beginning of the trailer, they're building it up as like, what could possibly, these guys are screwed here. There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it looks like Hawkeye's back in the fray.
Yes, which is he's taking on his new persona, which is Ronin, which in the comics he kind of, sometimes superheroes like to kind of forego certain personas, if you will, certain mantles that get passed around. For example, in Infinity War, Steve Rogers didn't really have the mantle of Captain America. In the comics, during around this time, he was actually known as Nomad. And I guess in the movie, he's just Steve to everybody that knows him. So no one's going to really refer to him as Captain America. You might get a few caps out of Tony, but that might be it. So Hawkeye is going to be, he's Ronin, or I guess that's his new persona. I don't know if they'll actually refer to him in the movie as Ronin, but essentially that's the new character. That's the new persona that he takes.
Right, and I did see a lot of that on Twitter today. So at least the contingent amongst folks is that he's going to be Ronin in this movie. Again, though, we're not sure if that means he's officially going to be, but he definitely appeared that way in the trailer. The other deal would be Ant-Man is back.
Yeah. I mean, which you also kind of hinted at some of the other trailers, which was, him showing up towards the end of some of these trailers. But yeah, you definitely see him actually walking with everybody, and kind of, it looks that first scene where he's like just staring at the signpost that has the signs on it, or the electricity post or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks very reminiscent of like a zombie movie. So I'm guessing he probably like gets out of the quantum realm and has no idea what's going on.
Right.
And is just walking around and like just happens to, because that looks more or less like around maybe his neighborhood or like his ex-wife and his daughter's neighborhood maybe. So he might be like trying to run back, see what's going on. I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of families kind of torn apart here between his and between Hawkeye's family. So probably kind of some motivation for a couple of those characters.
Yeah, I mean, it's also good in a way Ant-Man will be there for a little comic relief, because this is going to be a heavy movie, you'd assume, at least from the start of this year.
Absolutely.
You did see Rocket, too. Now, Rocket didn't disintegrate with everybody else?
He did not, no.
Oh, wow. So he's the only one who stayed around?
Out of the Guardians, well, there's him and there's Nebula. So I guess if you want to, I think they're really the only two non-original Avengers that are in this one, at least from the get-go.
Right.
And of course, Captain Marvel, which we also, spoiler alert at the end of that. Not so much a spoiler if you've seen Captain Marvel, but definitely if you haven't, it's kind of it's kind of one of those things where everybody expected it. Everybody, they were saying, they picked Captain Marvel to be released before Avengers, so you knew that she was going to be in it. The whole thing is centered around her part in all this. But to just go and blatantly say, hey, whether or not you've seen Captain Marvel yet, here you go.
Exactly. And it's only a week after Captain Marvel's been out, which is, it's, you just let's say you haven't gotten around to seeing this movie yet, and you decided, oh, wow, another Avengers Endgame trailer comes out. Even though you probably could have put two and two together, they totally ruined Captain Marvel in the trailer.
Although, to be fair, again, it was a mid-credit scene anyway, where, she kind of comes in and, that there's that whole scene that kind of makes up to it. But yeah, I kind of have to wonder what her, is that actually going to be how she shows up in Endgame? where she just suddenly, shows up, or or is there going to be maybe a little bit more to it?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something to think about. I am glad though they didn't. Nobody who disintegrated was shown here, so at least there's still. Both of us in the past on Disney 101 have expressed a little frustration with the Spider-Man trailer coming out and being blatantly showing Spidey, all over the place and perfectly fine, which I think could have easily been saved for right after. I understand it's coming out, I think, a few weeks or maybe even a couple months later at most after this movie, but I think they could have definitely held off on the trailer until after this. But I was glad at least that when you said spoilers, I was like, I'm going to turn this on and all of the people are going to be just hanging out. Everybody who's disintegrated is just going to be there, and you're just going to see scenes of them kicking ass. And at least that wasn't how it was right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, again, that is also the thing that most people are anticipating. Most people are anticipating that everybody's going to be coming back. Which, I mean, with the Spider-Man movie coming out, there's a couple of different ways that they can get around that. They can call it either a flashback, or they could call it, like an alternate universe type deal or something like that. But yeah, most likely Spidey is back. He's saved somehow. Maybe other people too. We've heard that there's going to be another Black Panther movie. We've heard there's going to be another Doctor Strange movie. So.
Well, isn't part of it that they said Black Panther returns, but that could have been as a part of the Avengers?
It could be, yeah.
Because at the other Avengers, the only one they confirmed as returning was Thanos, right? It wasn't at the end, is it Thanos will return?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so crazy stuff. So what do you think about the trailer overall?
Overall, I liked it. I liked the mixing of the past and the present. Because you get the first couple of flashbacks you get Tony, you get Cap. You also get a little bit of, I don't know if you caught it, but during Cap's part, especially when he is carrying the coffin, that is Agent Carter's, Peggy Carter's casket flashing back from, I believe it was either Civil War or Winter Soldier when that happened.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Civil War. And that's kind of her voiceover there, where it's all, and some people are saying time travel there might be some sort of time traveling going on in this movie. So maybe we're going to get Peggy back. Maybe somehow Cap is going to go back to when Peggy was alive, and there might be something there. It's so, the thing is that because there have been a lot of these little Easter eggs and these little tidbits and these little hints and clues in prior movies which have actually come to fruition, everybody overanalyzes these things, and it's like, oh, did you see how Hawkeye touched Black Widow's shoulder? That's clearly a reference to something. Or
right.
With having Peggy do the voiceover with Cap, that's something confirmed and everything. So it's hard not to read into all these things when it's proven in the past that some of these things have actually come up.
Right.
So, but you kind of don't want to fall into that pitfall of overanalyzing things.
That's a good point. Well, yeah, I mean, and as I'm seeing some of those flashbacks, the first thing that went into my mind was like, I wonder if they filmed some of these scenes when they first started the movies, like actually filming the movies, knowing this was going to be the end of the entire thing. If they filmed some scenes back when to now use in this Avengers movie.
I mean, it's possible. They probably were filming both, more or less at the same time. So there could be, maybe bits and pieces that they filmed. Yeah, we're just going to take some of these shots and may or may not use them later. But I mean, there's, the one shot at the end where all of them are walking in the Avengers uniform, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That was awesome.
So I mean, that I think probably wasn't. That was definitely filmed in this movie, because you got to say, oh, well, why are this random assortment of people walking around in the uniform, and where is everybody else?
Right. Exactly. Well, hey, I thought it was really good stuff. Let us know in the comment section what you liked about the trailer. Let us know if there's anything you didn't like about the trailer, any story inefficiencies that you already see, any spoilers you were unhappy with. Let us know in the comment section below. And you can also follow us over on Twitter at Disney101pod. And this week, we also officially launched our official Instagram page. You can follow us on Instagram, also at Disney101pod. And to spend just a day and a half, we already have over 100 follows on there. So thanks so much for all the folks who have gone ahead and followed us on there. planning on doing a lot more fun stuff, and we'll have a lot more about this Avengers Endgame trailer, as well as our entire spoiler breakdown of Captain Marvel this weekend on Disney 101. Steve, is there anything you'd like to say before we get on out of here for today?
No, just as always, we'll see you real soon, and everybody have a magical week.